Well, welcome back to the Intel Extreme Masters League of Legends tournament going on this weekend here at the SAP Center. You can see outside floating around along with everybody else, kind of making you feel like you're here. And inside, everybody hanging out in the Intel Extreme Masters area, having a little bit of fun watching League of Legends. We have some StarCraft on the other side, but right now we have Game 2 between paiN and Cloud9. We saw a bit of a kind of squabble back and forth. It was a scramble for both teams. It was like a fumble on every play, but it was going in Cloud9's favor. They were able to repick it, regrab, and keep going to the end zone for the win. Nexus won in their favor. We're going on to Game 2 now. Snoopy, I just saw your tweet saying Meteos had a great game.
Yep.
Rest of the team also came up, but what can paiN do here to stop that pressure, the suffocation, the rotations they weren't matching? So what do you do at first?
One thing is to realize their pick and ban phase wasn't necessarily strong enough. I don't think they had a good curve. It was all banking on that late game, which I don't think they can afford to do again.
Okay.
And also in that initial where they had the swap, paiN really didn't control the wave very well at all.
Yeah.
Balls got a free XP at the top. They didn't freeze it, so Sneaky and Lemon froze the lane really well, denied Mundo that experience early. And that didn't happen for Balls. Balls geo-jungled and Meteos a little bit, then went to top lane and got a free 1 to 2 levels. They can't afford to make mistakes like that again.
That was huge for the game. That was basically the entire early game. Cloud9 had a gigantic advantage from that top lane. And when that guy has teleport, it puts pressure on the whole map.
And we know Cloud9 can obviously work around little things. They made that one work for themselves here, but what can they do in the second game? I don't think they're going to have any trouble in picks and bans. They have what they need. It's really up to paiN Gaming. We should be looking at them. At the end of the game, we saw Ollie talking to the team. Everybody was looking down the line towards Lacti and Ollie, kind of getting information from them. I think they should have, and they probably did, forget about that game and say, we need to do this next and just make sure we don't fall into this, let them out-rotate us, and maybe ward a bit more, because they definitely got out-warded as well. It was pretty much dark on the map.
Yeah, I hope that what we saw from paiN Gaming there was them really just being hindered by their team composition is the hope, but it's very concerning the way they mismanaged the lane in the lane swap, because that just showed that they maybe just weren't even on Cloud9's level, because
that experience,
you can give them a pass for picking a late game team composition that never had long enough time to turn on, but you can't give them a pass for also making really poor early game decisions.
And they're the ones who sent their AD carry and support up top for that. So I think also though you have to give them a little bit of leeway here, because they were given this Warwick thing and it looked like they weren't expecting that. Like, as he said, a lot of people haven't been practicing it because it's banned all the time. That might have thrown them off. Maybe they're used to playing with an early game jungler. Like, they planned a lot of this, a lot of these games to go with a more early game oriented jungler, force their T to actually get them to a more powerful point for their laners.
Sure that was part of their conversation in the mid game. Like, yeah, we screwed up the lane control early on. We definitely were surprised by them leaving Warwick open. So we'll see what their game plan is coming into this time. Is what I assume that
leave Warwick open.
I assume it's going to happen. C9 will leave it open, and I think paiN this time won't pick it either, and they'll leave it open too.
Well, we already have the bans going out. Katarina's actually going to be hit up for Kami in the mid lane for paiN Gaming. Don't want a snowball game to go in their favor. Cloud9 will respect the fact that if paiN gets the early lead, they could be able to control that game. One more ban to be coming out for paiN's side. What do they want to shut down? It was quite targeted at high last time. We're going to see that once again with the Zed and Syndra. Thresh will go, the playmaking from Lemon Nation, even though got him into trouble. It's not what they want to deal with right now.
That's a really interesting ban. I didn't expect Thresh to get banned.
Okay.
At all.
Not a huge fan of that, actually. Yes, he was able to create a few picks, but he was also putting himself in very poor positions on multiple occasions.
Yeah. What would your ban be if that Thresh was to still be in the game?
I mean, I would have even contemplated something like a Lee Sin at this point.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Just taking that away from Meteos, forcing him onto the Pantheon. I mean, I don't think Meteos is actually ever going to pick Warwick. I think they're very much set on that at this point. We'll see. He might prove me wrong now, but I don't think
or even the Corki, because like after that game, Corki is like obviously a flex pick for Cloud9, and it is basically the top 80 carry right now as well. So taking that away from the first pick would be big. But as we said, you know, coming into this match, Gnar is a really big priority for them. So maybe even just giving that away for the Gnar is going to be a big boost for them. That would definitely help out for that top lane.
This game, Rumble is also open. Rumble and Lissandra are both open, so I wonder how that's going to affect Balls and what he picks.
All right, plays against them. I'm sure he'd be fine matching up against anything in the top lane. We did see that Xin Zhao hover just a second ago, but the Lucian gets picked up, so it can't be duoed once again by Cloud9 to come into this composition game 2 in our best of 3 set here. See, it did take a while last game for these guys to pick. It's going a little bit quicker this time right now, but now Cloud9 seeing the top lane and the AD carry pretty much get whatever they want here with quite a few high priority picks still open.
Yeah, I already kind of like what paiN are doing here, though, with Gnar. Because he's such a strong laner, it definitely stops a lot of what Cloud9 like to do. They always have been big fans of having laners that would just shove their lanes and be real aggressive early on. And when you have Lissandra and Corki, like an AD mid like that, they can do the same thing, and they shove up and they give Meteos a lot of freedom to start those roams that he did with Lemon Nation. So if you have strong laners like Gnar, then that will be a good place to start.
Yeah. It's still really tempting to pick Warwick, though. You got to imagine. I don't think they're going to do that, though. Looks like Jarvan for Meteos. That's actually not something I've ever seen Meteos do very well on. He's had some average to good games, and we also can't forget that Jarvan can go in many lanes. Top lane Jarvan could actually be a thing for balls here, because that has a fair amount of laning power might be able to compete with Gnar.
I don't really fancy that against the Gnar, though, in all honesty. Okay. Maybe like I would use Jarvan as a counter pick to like a Lissandra or something, but I don't see him playing it against Gnar top.
I'm interested to see that pick coming out with two champions that can already jump out of the ultimate, just like basic mechanics to get out of that. His idea of trapping somebody right now is not going to work out too well.
Well, the thing is, if you combo it with Soraka's Silence, it's kind of a perfect fit, the circle of silence with the Cataclysm. So that's kind of why I kind of like that as a double pickup here, as Jarvan plus Soraka. Cool. Because Soraka's AoE Silence, everyone talks about the healing. You know, the healing is the most annoying thing,
The silence is annoying.
But her AoE Silence is ridiculous, especially if you can keep people in it. Turns into a snare.
I also wonder if paiN is going a little bit hard in correcting their mistakes from last game. It seems like they're just trying to pick as strong lanes as possible with Gnar.
They did it.
Has tremendous strength. And then the opposite of a Warwick jungler, Xin Zhao, early game pressure.
Yep.
Totally different experience here.
I wonder if Sneaky's going to play this Corki or not this game. I think he will play the Corki this game.
Yeah, with Lucian already off the table.
And was that going to leave high on?
Talon? No, he's not going to do that.
I mean, it honestly could be an Orianna. He often goes back to Orianna when he feels pressured, and it does still. You can put everybody into the Cataclysm. You make sure they're all in there for the Soraka Silence, and then they have this sort of AoE combo that they could go with.
There's the Rumble.
We did see Ezreal mid coming out.
Ezreal from Faker.
Yeah, I was just going to say it. Damn it, they picked it sooner.
Well, they could still do Corki mid. Like, we actually don't know exactly where those two solars are going.
That is true.
Yeah. They could do
and
Corki
he just
or
came
Ezreal.
off a solid game on Corki, so why not stick with it?
Also, they don't give anything away here. They've used double AD comps twice for Cloud9, so if they move on,
that's true.
Next opponent doesn't really have much to go on. They're just like, okay, double AD is a very high probability for Cloud9, and they don't have to give away any other strategies.
Quite excited to see how this Rumble Gnar matchup goes. I wonder if Leko can really punish balls in the top lane or not. I think he has to, and if he doesn't, they're really going to suffer, and Rumble will play a huge part in how this game plays out.
Really great in the sense of resources. They're going to be able to just pretty much throw spells back at each other without really having to worry about it. Stay out of the face of Gnar when he gets big, and we'll have to see if the composition works out. We see Xerath being locked in. We said we might see him a little bit. It's going to go poke to poke in that mid lane against Ezreal as well. We are going to be taking a short break here as Champion Select counts down. Be sure to stay tuned as we go into Game 2 of our second best of 3 here at the Intel Extreme Masters in San Jose. The League of Legends tournament, paiN Gaming versus Cloud9, coming up next.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Intel Extreme Masters here in San Jose. Game 2 about to get underway. Cloud9 currently leading 1-0 over paiN Gaming. Can they make it a clean sweep? And I just want to start things off with the two guys next to me, St. Vicious and Monty, completely called that pick a ban face, like nailed it.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I really like Cloud9's comp. I'm very hyped up about this just because I really liked what they were saying on the expert desk about, because we've seen the Jarvan Rumble combination so many times and how you can trap people in there. But Kobe brought up the fact that you now have the Soraka silence that like very neatly fits in Cataclysm. And now there is just no escape.
Yeah, once you're in there, you are done.
Toast, yeah. I mean, we've seen Balls played Rumble so many times as well. It's a strong top lane, and the fact is that he dominated game 1 in that top lane. Does this spell serious trouble already? Nah, very different though in that top lane.
I think it's going to be a little bit harder for this Rumble to get by against this Gnar, but Rumble's a champion that can fall behind early and still be extremely effective. And I just have these visions of the Cataclysm and the Equalizer and then True Shot Barrage just rocketing overhead. I'm really hoping we get to see that.
Well, I also wouldn't be surprised to see another 2v1 out of them. It looked like Cloud9 had a much better grasp of how to do the 2v1. So you get Rumble really far ahead of Gnar with that, and it's just going to be free lane. And also, one thing I want to point out is that paiN has the Xerath, which is, a very pokey champion, and then they have the Soraka to counter that at Cloud9. So I don't really think they're going to be able to get a lot of chunk off. And I think it's going to turn into a poke war where Cloud9 is going to get a lot of chunk on them, and then they're just going to go all in with the Cataclysm combo and like finish the job.
Yeah, the nice thing too is with the double AD, you're less reliant on mana in order to get some of this poke off in the long run. So whereas if Xerath gets denied a blue buff or something like that, it could be very, very bad.
And obviously talking about the fact we do have Ezreal in there. We did have Faker playing it earlier in the week. Are we expecting it to be in the mid, or are we going to be sneaky on Ezreal? Which way are we going to go? Because obviously we just saw High playing Corki anyway.
Definitely. I think it's definitely going to be Ezreal.
I think it's such a, and we're wrong. We are dead wrong.
There we go. So High on Corki in this mid lane. Sneaky will be on the Ezreal. We'll see where he goes. What Ezreal build is he going to go in 4.20?
Here's why Ezreal is a little bit better in the mid lane. Because in the short lane, the Arcane Shift really gets you out of almost all trouble. And it allows you to build tier as a first item and start stacking that immediately when you're not so concerned about trading with an enemy AD carry. So that's why I would have expected to see it.
They have Soraka there, so I mean, even if you trade, it's like, oh, I lost 70% of. Oh, now I'm back. I'm full. Yeah, Soraka is the bane of my existence, man.
Yeah, but even those trades, like the thing about the Lucian Janna combo is that with the Eye of the Storm, and you can get those double procs off that AD buff that you're getting off of Janna. So I mean, it's still going to be, I think, a tough lane for them.
We'll see how it works out for them, of course, Liko. This time around, is he going to have any lane swaps? It doesn't look like it, the way that things are setting up. It looks like that Zach T is heading back down towards that bottom lane, so no early shenanigans, no early invades this time around from Cloud9 like they did before. Or will they try and push in and put pressure on that blue buff? It seems that they are happy to play this one safe.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to trade off the Gromp and the double golems as well. They're not even going to try to go in and contest or invade that. I'm really surprised that no teams have come in and tried to invade it yet. I think maybe later in the tournament, you're going to see that there's going to be some really, really bloody fights over those.
Yeah, we're still in the very early phases of this new meta on the new map, so I think that it's not so surprising that teams are playing a little bit safer right now, and they'll start to test their limits, I think, more to see what they can get away with. And we saw a little bit of that from Kikis early today, so.
Okay, so obviously with the Soraka there, they're letting Sneaky tank it up this time around, so he's going to be taking the double, I would say golems, but they're not golems anymore, of course. We're on the new patch. And they will both be joining the lane. Level 2 for both AD carriers, so no advantage really gained by either of them.
Well, I think this start actually really helps out a Soraka lane a lot, because Soraka lane is basically you're letting the AD carry 1v2 against the enemy duo lane, and then you just make sure he's always full health. So giving Ezreal the extra little oomph and power allows him to be a lot more aggressive in lane early.
As a jungler, how do you feel about the fact that the AD carries are always taking your mobs at the start again? Because they're going to go for Cammy. Cammy sidesteps very well and avoids all of that damage. Actually, a lot of damage on towards Meteos as well to try and turn that one back around.
If he would have just hit that EQ combo, that would have been first blood for them. And I'm actually really surprised to see the Ignite on the Xerath. I mean, I know they need to counteract the Soraka heal, but I figured he would just get a Morels or something like that. So I'm surprised he didn't take a more defensive summoner.
Yeah, there's also, I mean, getting in range to use Ignite in the late game on Xerath is not an easy thing to do if you're playing Xerath properly. So while he may have a little bit of maybe more power, questionable in the laning phase, I don't think it's going to do him very many favors late.
Well, against this team especially, I mean, you don't want to get close.
No, well, you're just going to get destroyed. I mean, that's the problem, is the Xerath doesn't have a high survival rate if that Jarvan gets on top of him with an equalizer.
You just wait. He's going to ignite that Jarvan while he's stuck in the pit.
Well, if he's stuck in the pit with Jarvan, Jarvan's done his job. He can check out, die for a little bit, and come back later.
But, oh, there's going to be the blue buff for Meteos. Going back to my original point, you know, as a jungler, this is obviously something that we saw a lot of through Season 2, Season 3. Times was the Golems, the whatever you want to call it, the Gromp as well, the Krugs, all being taken away by your AD carries. As a jungler, it had kind of come about the very first start of this one. Actually, Sneaky taking a hell of a lot of damage in that. I'll get this point out eventually if Sneaky stops his fight. But yeah, how do you feel as a jungler letting your AD carries take away that? Because that would ordinarily be the start point for you.
I mean, I'm completely fine with it. As long as the mid laner doesn't come in and take my wolves and raves like they've been doing for the past, 4 seasons. Like, just stay away mid lane. You can have, bot lane can have whatever they want, top lane can have whatever they want, but the mid lane is just too greedy. I can't be doing that.
Well, they need them CS records. That's what it is. It's all about that.
Yeah, just padding the stats. Yeah, but you saw they took that really bad chunk bottom, but guess what? Soraka Ezreal, always full health. And I think that's one of the main reasons why they put the Ezreal down there in the bot lane. Soraka is just, you just can't take it down. You have to gank it. And where's the Zen at? The Zen needs to be camping that Soraka lane to put them in pressure.
Cammy's getting ganked in the mid lane. Teleport coming in. Cammy's going to be the first blood here. Or will he? He gets away on the side there. Meteos knocked up. Cammy will go down eventually, but Meteos is in trouble here. CT is going to come around the side. He's going to try and flag and drag away. Ole will catch on towards him. He's going to go down eventually. The exhaust comes in. Leko now in trouble. He gets the heal. Elimination goes down. It's a 2-for-1. Could they get another? High's going to get caught out. Flash on towards him. Leko very low. Around the side. Sneaky now coming in. Teleport from Balls. Everybody wants a piece of this one. Leko gets away. Here comes Balls. Flame Spits are running hard. Sneaky going to come away. Leko's got nowhere to run. He's about to transform again. But Lacti joins the fight. He's onto Hay. In comes around Certai on towards Sneaky. High taken solo. Balls comes back around with a Flame Spitter. And they will disengage. Oh, Ole is going to be the sacrificial lamb of flames. And it will be a 2-for-2. And Lactate will just dash into the Dragon Pit. Insane action 5 minutes into this game.
I'm actually really impressed that paiN managed to escape with so few losses in that situation, with 3 guys and 1 very low cornered in the jungle like that. They managed to kind of get the damage they needed down onto High and Sneaky in order to kind of escape out the back door.
Yeah, that trade actually turned out pretty decent for them. I think a lot of that has to go with Rumble deciding to TP in a little bit late. I think he wanted to wait till they were fully committed to it. And, I mean, they were basically at the 2nd-tier turret before he decided to TP in. I'm really surprised that only the Janna was the one to die there. And the funny thing is, I saw Soraka, she has her passive. She's just sprinting down the bot river like a lightning bolt. I wish somebody could see that on replay. But, yeah, I love her passive, seeing her on the minimap.
But what I would say is, like, the problem is you look at the kills, where the kills went. You can see it's High and Balls that got the kills, whereas it's Certai and Ole that got the kills for paiN. So clearly, big advantage for Cloud9 from that.
Well, that's huge, too, because Leko up there, he started with that longsword and potions, and now that kill allowed Balls to pick up that arm guard and balance things out a little bit more, because before Balls was actually falling pretty far behind in terms of CS. He's going to be able to go much better toe-to-toe at this point with Leko.
But you see the Gnar, I mean, he's going to get the Hex Drinker, so he's just going to get the complete, opposite end of the item. He's going to be trying to defend against magic resist, pretty much. I think he's going to be fine in the lane. I don't think either person's going to kill him. I mean, it's just going to be just farming. And then all the sway is going to go from the TP plays like you guys just saw.
Well, here we go again, it seems. Meteos sitting in the mid lane. Cammy, no flash available. Will be up in a few seconds, actually. If Meteos doesn't go for it soon, it will be back off that cooldown. Ole is going to join him, so it seems that Meteos, is he going to back? Yeah, he's not going to go for it this time around, and that will give the flashback for Cammy, so he should be able to escape. But it seems that paiN Gaming, they're setting something up for themselves.
One of the things that I think I would have rather seen this game is Meteos is camping the mid lane very hard, because if we look at what the lanes were going to be doing, if paiN got standard lanes, you can expect them to push in top and bottom, which means that Meteos really didn't have very many options besides to go mid lane if he wanted to exert any kind of kill pressure, unless he was trying to counter gank in top or bot. but he's deciding to be active instead. And one of the things that I think I would have rather have seen rather than this Xerath would be something like an Ahri that has a little bit more defensibility. Because if you know with your last pick what's coming in terms of a standard laning phase, I think you can nip some of this in the bud by taking a slightly more mobile, or at least a champion with easier to hit CC, and you'll have less of a risk in the laning phase of dying early.
And Ahri is also just, it's really good against these squishy AD carry champions. If you get the DFG, you can just assassinate them, and you ever hit the charm in the lane phase, you're done. So I think that would have been a lot better pick here too. And I actually do like what Meteos is doing, because the way the Xin plays, he gets the Devour, which is a very farm-heavy item. You need to ramp that up and get the stacks on it. And by pressuring mid and ganking it over and over and over again, you're forcing the Xin to be sitting mid and not farming this whole time. And he's not going to be able to ramp that item up.
Much closer game in the first 10 minutes, it seems, with the Blue Wolf going across to both, I was about to say both mid laners. Is High going to come across and collect it? Yes, he is. So it will go across. Meteos will gift him that one. Let's see where the Meteos goes from this one. Will he go and have a look towards that top lane, or will he just continue on his jungle path? If you remember the last match, he farmed massively compared to Sir T, and it seems it will be the top lane he's going to pay a visit. There is a ward in that river, so he is coming the correct route, will be unseen, and Balls actually is starting to put some pressure back on towards Leko. Oh, he's going to slide across into the ward.
Looks like Xin picked up really early Mobies. He wants to get out on the map. Pretty surprised he actually went with that one. Like, Ninja Tabby's such a good boot choice here. But, I mean, it might pay off if you get some early kills. I mean, he's going to be sitting here waiting for that counter gank.
Oh, very close to slamming Balls against the wall there. Instead, they are going to jump on him. He manages to get his ultimate down. Is it going to be enough? No! He gets out, but in comes Meteos. He could get a clean sweep here. Sati has to fight this one. Leko's just leaving him to run. He will go down. And, well, Meteos, he could have got a double, and Leko just left his jungler hanging.
Well, they just like, peace, I'm out of here. He just like hops in the bush, just like waves goodbye, throws him some flowers, but you will be missed.
Wow.
Yeah, this is like, this bot lane is pretty much how I thought it would go out. I mean, it's just free farm lane. Ezreal can build literally anything he wants. Like, he has tier, he has like no real power, but he's just still maintaining even farm. And that's just what Soraka does. She allows you to even out almost any lane and just whittle people down.
Yeah, the concern that I have, though, is if they're going to be doing this, can Lacti and Ole push this lane up very aggressively and start putting some pressure onto the Dragon? Because you can't let them just get away with this. And Ezreal has no combat stats right now whatsoever. So I think there's an opportunity to push very aggressively and try and make a Dragon play. Kami, though.
But straight away countered. Yeah, Kami thought he'd caught High out, but instead, Meteos once again in the right place at the right time. Very well played.
And that's where the Soraka's going in. You saw the Xerath got that pretty big chunk off on him, and but guess what? 2 seconds later, you have a full health Corki, and this is just going to allow you to control the mid lane, push up, or like push for the Dragon. And then also on the note where you're saying where it's on the Lacti to, you know, pressure that bot lane with the Soraka, you really, really, really need jungle pressure to do that. You can't just power down a Soraka lane. It's a lot of healing. You have to have an extra source of DPS or CC. Especially when you have a Janna.
Putting pressure on Sneaky, just to annoying him so he doesn't back away. Tribush Ward will spot Elimination coming back around, and they're going to be back once again. Meteos, though, around the side there. Elimination will clear it. He will get spotted, but he's got the double buff on him, remember, after just picking up that kill a moment ago. And he's going to... Are they really going to try Dragon? Are they really going to try Dragon paiN?
That'd be pretty desperate. Looks like they're going to pull it, though.
I mean, they did just get a recall coming in from Jarvan here.
They're going to do it, I think. It may well be quick enough. There's the Scrying Orb. They're not going to pay a visit to it, so we'll be paying gaming, picking up the first Dragon of the game, and that will bring them back in there. True Shot Barrage, not enough damage on that one yet. And paying gaming get themselves first Dragon of the game.
I'm actually surprised they decided to give that up. I mean, both top laners had TP. Balls is, you can see he's in a position where the Gnar is like pretty chunked out. I thought they would be a little bit more aggressive on that.
I'm also surprised that Meteos chose to complete that recall in the first place. He had double buffs. If he had just stayed there for a little bit longer, forced out the ult there.
I mean, maybe they didn't want to take any risks. Like, you have Ezreal and Kork, who are both champions that, you know, need to ramp up and hit their power spike items, and maybe they just didn't want to really take any risky fights, and they know if they like drag it out the late game, their comp is, I would say, is a little bit better.
Speaking of risky fights, it's a 3-man dive in his top lane. Balls gets knocked into the tower. A lot of tower hits coming down. Is it going to be enough? No. The heal comes out. High collects himself a kill, but paiN are trying to collapse on towards him as well. They do see Cammy thought about coming there, but the fact that he died meant him and Ole backed away. 4 members of Cloud9 in that top half of the jungle. Can they force anything down in the mid or bottom? It doesn't look like it.
Yeah, they're just going to ward up the topside jungle and just take this over. So they're going to know anywhere that Xin goes, anywhere he ganks. And they're going to know all his jungle pathing, and they can make a lot of really good decisions off of that.
This is looking more and more like the mid game that we saw last time, that now Meteos will start creeping ever forward into Surt's jungle and start to choke him out. But the question is, are they going to have that better team fight positioning that they really lacked in the last game? They're playing a similarly fragile double AD composition, so it will be up to Balls kind of to not get caught out right here.
I think paiN Gaming did the right thing here. They lost control of their topside jungle, so instead what they wanted to do is they wanted to go and take control of the bot side jungle, because they know there's no wards in there, because Cloud9, they just put all their wards in the topside jungle, and they knew they were all up there, so it's pretty safe to go in and just get vision. So I think paiN Gaming actually played that really well, and they traded out the red buffs.
Good reactionary play coming out. True Shot Barrage fired off to try and keep that wave at bay. Sneaky unsure whether he's about to face 2, 3, 4 members of paiN Gaming, and it looks like there is a bit of a gathering down here in this tri-bush. All Lemonation, he's going to go straight in, puts the ward down. May just about give him enough time. Flashes just in case. A little bit worried on that one. It was 4 members of paiN, but they choose not to go for it, and that actually might buy time. And now this top lane, Leiko, once again, could be facing a 2v1.
Yeah, I'm glad that the Zin's actually deciding to put some time into bot lane. I think that's where he should have been spending a lot of his time in the early game.
He's running to cover. He's got Meteos there. Surti thought about going across. Now they can both Valkyrie and slide in towards the Baron pit. Remember, no Baron until the 20th minute. Instead, we're going to see Surti going down. Meteos was the one that locked him up with the Cataclysm. High very low in the Baron pit. Will Leiko focus on it? He's got the cover up. He will get taken down by the rock. Big slam on towards him. And paiN get themselves an even trade 1-for-1.
All right, we can tell that Kami is not a confirmed scripter over here.
Wow, I mean, just some nice dodge work right there, but could only stay in the pit for so long, and Meteos getting popped up.
Oh, he's going to use the Eye of the Storm. I'm trying to remember the damn name of it to knock him back. Meteos just slides away. They're not interested. They're going to instead go for the blue, finding it more valuable to give that to Cammy, as Cammy doesn't get it. That went across the Leiko. That's a mistake.
I think that is the weakest Ezreal ult I've ever seen. The entire time I've been playing this. Like, I didn't even see his health move. Like, he doesn't even. He has like a Doran's.
He has a long sword. You know, it's going to help out there.
He's cranking out the damage, man.
Oh, they're collapsing on towards Sneaky here. He's going to try and arcane shift away. We do see Lactate and Ole. They're going to close around the side there. They do manage to land the shot on towards him. Will there be enough? Will they tower dive? Teleport comes out. That's going to be Balls joining this party. He's going to force him away. Ole, you may get taken down here. Almost gets caught out by that ult. He does flash away. Instead, they turn this one back around. Flame Spit are running. Lactate goes down. Surti trying to get one more hit onto Balls, but it's not enough. Does flash for it. Gets the kill. Now Sneaky, could he be the focus target of Cammy, but instead High comes around the side. He can clean up here, but they're going to try and lock on towards him. It's a 3v1. 3 talent strike works. There's the stun. He's going to come out of this one. Surti dodging for his life. One more shot. There it is. High picks up the kill, but here comes Leiko. Leiko in a 3-4v1. What is he doing? High's just cleaning up, picking up all of the kills. Tower had already gone down, and Cloud9 clean up once again.
Yeah, those Soraka heals was coming in really clutch. I just saw her flying down the lane. I'm like, oh god, High's gonna. Oh, never mind, he's good. There's this unicorn whatever thing running at him. It's all good.
And that's the thing about Soraka right now is that Ole.
It's a nice tornado.
Yeah, very nice. Well, I guess we're going to watch the replay first, but coming in here with the teleport, and we do see a pretty nice ult from Balls right there to lock him up. Ole has to flash over to the side. Now, Lacti's damage is a little bit deceptive right here because he did go for the early brutalizer, so he's chunking pretty darn hard, and Sneaky is just pretty much useless in this situation. You can see getting him some autos off right there, but not really doing any damage. High valking in from the side, trying to get that Gatling gun, shred a little bit of that armor, and Meteos, I've seen better flashes, but gets the dragon, lands down, and launches up the kill, and then a very clutch heal coming in from Lemonation, and that's that Soraka passive really doing work.
You know, Meteos just wanted the assist, man. He threw the flag in, he got a little bit of
I just want to say, in that fight, Cammy had no mana. Blue buff, of course, went across the Leiko a moment ago. Could have all worked out much nicer for them, and instead,
that's a great point.
Wasn't to be. And it looks like we're dragon spawning in just 20 seconds time. They're going to take themselves the crab.
Nars
maybe
top
the
lane.
Dragon.
He has no TP and he's top lane. He's going to be really late for this. There's no way he's going to make it all the way down to Dragon in 10 seconds.
Yeah, Bolt is already there, of course. And it seems that with that vision, they will take this one down. There's the Dragon spawning down here. Nars at the mid lane. He may just make it in time, but they're going to chunk it down pretty quickly here. And you can see they're keeping everyone at bay. They've still got a lot of hit points to go. Sneaky will finally join it, and they're actually going to get it just in time. Will they be able to steal it away? I don't think so. There's going to be the smite from Meteos, and now they've taken down one. Elimination is dropped. Sneaky's taken low in the pit here. They're going to try and lock on towards him. Leiko in trouble. Does manage to turn just into Nara at the last second. Sati's going to get focused. Meteos comes around. He's going to get picked up by Sneaky. High actually trying to kite around here. Cammy will not land the stun. May well be in trouble himself. True Shot Barrage completely missing. Goes across the side. And it was a 2 for 2, but Dragon picked up for Cloud9.
But finally, this Ezreal is actually able to do damage. We went from Machine to a Trinity Force, so a lot of gold just dropped right there by Sneaky, and definitely much more effective in that fight. Did get a little bit trapped.
Wait, you weren't impressed by the longsword damage before? Come on now. I gotta say, I'm really surprised that paiN Gaming was so late to this Dragon. They got the first one, didn't they? So
yeah, they had the timer.
Yeah, they have the timer. I'm sure both teams had the timer, but I figured they'd be on top of it. I don't know if they didn't value it so highly because it's the second Dragon in the game, but I don't know.
And right here high on this side, I mean, he does a great job of allowing Meteos just to wait and get out of this pit because he chases everybody off kind of by himself. I'm actually surprised they didn't commit more to dealing with him because they had a Jarvan with no mana, no cooldowns in the pit, and Ezreal on the outside with not a lot of stats either, no health, and they just kind of let High poke them and walked off. I think they could have probably played a little bit more aggressively and potentially, if they wanted, even made a play on the bottom tower.
Yeah, I think if they got some good chunk off on High, they could have probably traded the bot turret at least.
Cammy waiting off the side. 4 members of paiN Gaming up in towards his top half of the jungle. Sneaky rushing up the river. They're going straight face to face in the bush here. Sati's going to jump it. Sneaky catches on towards. Is he going to be able to jump away? One more shot comes in. Oh, the wish! No, not quite saving him as Cammy lands the shot. Now can they chase on? I don't think they're going to catch on towards High. We do see Lacti coming around, but he will get away. The top tower almost certainly going paiN Gaming's way. It will be their second of the game.
Did Ezreal was his shift down when he went into that, or like he didn't use his heal? And his shift had to be down there. I'm not really sure what that was.
Yeah, I'm actually quite surprised the summoner heal didn't actually get used right there either.
Oh,
Lacti.
Oh, wow. Flash just as that Cataclysm came in. High's going to finish him off, though. And they will get themselves a kill. The rest of paiN Gaming are coming around the back of them here. They're going to flank around. Cloud9 going to run towards the wolves and get away. Will Sati go for it? I don't think so. There's no vision now. It would be a bit of a mistake, so they will allow them to escape around the back.
And one thing I also overlooked with the synergy, Jarvan with the 280 carries, he does armor shred, and he also gets them both attack speed. So this is actually a really beautiful team comp, like really great synergy.
I really like this team comp that we're seeing here. We haven't seen the big wombo that I want to see yet.
High locked up. Is the Valkyrie going to be enough? Sati's running into trouble, and he's going to go down now. True Shot Barrage absolutely doing damage, and now Cammy may pay the price. Turns around, stun doesn't land. Ole is there with that ultimate if he really needs to heal Cammy, but instead, with the rockets landing, the rest of paiN needs to defend this wave, and Cloud9, well, they're starting to pick off paiN Gaming every time they find them.
Yeah, the one issue that this team comp has is because it's Soraka and it's a Jarvan who...
High's gone away. That's... No, they've caught him with the rock, but Leiko may go a little too deep on this one. Ole's going to come in. Is not really the ideal people. Doesn't manage to land the stun. In comes Elimination. There's the heal. They're going to turn it back around. Leiko gets locked up. Nar turns into Mini Nar, and he's going to run away. The balls comes around. Teleport in there. Is it going to be enough onto Ole? No! Sidesteps it. Going to get caught out by Sneaky. Now Leiko, he's going to get sidestepped here. He's got the cover, though, of Sati and Lacte. They're both around the side. In comes Cammy as well. Balls may be the focus here. He's the front man. Sati goes in. Has he got enough damage? No. He gets turned around. Sneaky catches on towards him. There's the lockup. The culling goes down, but it's not enough damage. Leiko waiting to turn back into Nar. Has he got the power? He's going to go back on towards him. Can he get the slam? He can. High goes down. Meteos will catch out towards him. It's a double for Sneaky as he chases on towards Cammy. Cammy's got a sidestep here. Sneaky can turn the damage back around. Stun not enough, and the blue buff will be the kit pickup. And again, a 3 for 2, I believe it was, to Cloud9 this time around.
And just remember that started out with High getting caught out during his recall, and just kind of a ridiculous across-the-map fight right there. And just, you can tell the mobility that Cloud9 has. just in terms of the heals from Soraka, from her passive, and being able to get there so quickly. And then the double movement abilities from Corki and Ezreal, just pretty freaking ridiculous right here. We're just going to see the end of it.
I like the interaction between the Jarvan ult and the Gnar here. He just flings them into his own ultimate. He's like, no, you're stuck in here.
True Shot gets himself the double there with the swipe. Actually, we should talk about Sneaky because we were on about obviously how low he was at the start, but he snuck into 6-1-4. He's suddenly deadly.
I still maintain that I think the Ezreal was the better choice for the mid lane in this particular game. But obviously, Hai has been making a lot of moves on this Corki and seems very comfortable on this champion. But yeah, now he's got the Muramana completed. Pretty normal timing for that. And he's going to be really outputting the damage now. So that little power trough he put himself in at the beginning has vanished, and he will hit like a truck.
And also, Soraka has Aegis now as well, so that Xerath is not going to be hitting that hard. And if you look at how paiN Gaming's team comp works, they work by basically picking one target and then dropping a whole bunch of damage on it. But of course, Soraka's going to counter that. Her ultimate removes Ignite, and then she's going to top off that single target. Because you see, like, Hai or Sneaky, they end up getting caught out, and they drop all this damage on them, and they can never just do quite enough to finish off through that Soraka heal.
Well, we do see Leiko sticking around in that top lane. He has got teleport available, but he's going to try and make his way down the river. Dragon spawning in just 5 seconds time. paiN Gaming a little far away from this one. Not too sure whether they're going to try and contest it because he doesn't look like Lactey's interested at all. So they're going to give this one. It is only the second buff for Cloud9. Of course, no more global gold in 420. Instead, it's the support that takes a peek and actually takes a hell of a lot of damage. Has to use his ultimate. He's not going to get away. Ole's going down. And that was just the support. Just wanted to place a ward.
Well, but so much poke and the long-range abilities, it's nearly impossible to walk away from that situation unless you also have some sort of gap closer. And the thing that paiN Gaming can do right now, if they want to get back into this game, is create picks. Because the one flaw in Cloud9's composition is that you have a Jarvan who has built Ranger's Trailblazer with a Juggernaut and then a bunch of tankiness, and you have a Soraka. So if you can actually...
He's going to get him. God.
Goodbye.
Sniped. That was unlucky. He didn't get the steal. Is it going to be Xerath getting the hit? T comes in and picks him up. They may lose the tower from it. Leiko's come back, but you can see just off the camera, Cammy does get sniped down by Sneaky once again. Ball's in trouble. Meteos comes sliding across. In comes Sneaky. True Shot barrage landing. Meteos getting the wombo down onto Ole. Ole sticking around for a long time, but instead Balls comes around. Meteos gets himself one. T running for his life, but he's never going to be able to escape Sneaky, who gets himself his 8th kill of the game and the tower to boot. Cloud9 dominating this match now.
Yeah, if you get the Cloud9 together, they are going to combo you with all of this damage. But if you can split them up and take out 1 or 2 of their carries, you actually stand a really good chance. Because Jarvan is doing no damage. He's basically like a tanky second support, like Saint was saying, with the armor shred and the attack speed. And Soraka is only useful if she's healing a carry. So it's a long shot, but that's how they got to do it.
Yeah, but they also just keep forcing these drawn-out fights, and that's exactly where Soraka shines. I mean, if you look, this fight probably lasted about like 45 seconds, and Soraka, think about how much healing. Like, watch this healing on Sneaky right here. It's like, oh, you're low health. Like, you started this fight pretty low. Oh, I guess you're gonna miss it, but
just getting trolled by JD though.
Yeah, he's gonna come back to full health. He's almost full health now, right? Like, Soraka is power.
Yeah, waiting right there, I think, for the Grievous Ruins on the Ignite to fall off before using it because he was in no danger. So, but yeah, it's going to be a rough road for sure for paiN Gaming. That gold lead is opening up, and we talk about the Dragon difference as well. That's something that's not really evident in the gold lead any longer. So, we'll take a little bit of a different mental approach to the game than we're used to in previous seasons.
We'll see whether paiN can simply stop getting caught out, because that's what's really been happening. Cloud9 have had good ward placements, been able to spot them. We did see, however, Cammy against Sneaky almost took him down, despite the fact he'd already used his ultimate off the side. So straight up burned the damage down on towards him. Sneaky is still very weak if he gets caught out, but he's just not getting caught out right now. That's the problem. Sneaky playing it very well. It's Hai that's been kind of the guy throwing himself in front of all of the damage. paiN defending off down this bottom turret, while once again Leiko tries the split push, but he's kept the wave at least clear for now. But it does look like Cloud9 are gathering once again for this bottom inner.
Yeah, paiN Gaming actually has pretty decent wave clear with the Xerath, and of course they also have the Morello, so they can counteract that Soraka a little bit, but they just really need to get a perfect team fight where they just get a really nice pick, especially if they picked off the Soraka. That would be like the key target they need to get. So they need to find the Soraka while she's wandering around the jungle and try to like catch her out and pop her, and they can maybe win a team fight.
Just look at the jungle, though. Very much no wards whatsoever anymore. And you can see Cloud9, they keep laying these little traps. Meteos waiting to see if he can flag a drag across. Leiko going aggressive here on Balls. Balls got no support from his team. They're all off towards the top half, and Leiko may actually be able to keep chasing onto Balls here. He's got no towers for a long time. It's not going to land the hit, though. Oh, wow. One single Mystic shot, I think it is, on towards him there that just chunked him down. He's got to be careful. Sneaky could take him down from 100 to 0 very quickly. Meteos taking a lot of damage from paiN as well. paiN Gaming getting collapsed across. That's a lot of damage onto Sneaky, but he just arcane shifts away from it. paiN, they're trying to make something work here, but it's just not happening.
Well, this is what League of Legends is in 4.20, is more of the poking right now. It's pretty much what everybody wants to be doing. And at a certain point, though, when you play two compositions that are very stylistically similar, it kind of magnifies that gold difference, because if you've got more money, then you're just going to be able to do the poking better than your opponent. And that's part of what we're seeing right now, is that the Cloud9 is just more competitive in terms of that poke battle.
Well, not only do they have more poke, they have more sustain too. I mean, where's the healing coming out of paiN Gaming? If they go
John
into...
ult, come on, man.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. I cannot wait for that. That is going to save the day.
Cloud9 setting up for this one. Surti running headlong into it, and that's a lockup quickly done by Cloud9. paiN just running away from this one. Meteos in trouble though. He could get taken down. Have they got enough damage here? Lacti suddenly finds himself surrounded by Cloud9 members. Of 2 members of paiN already down. There's the healing. It's just not enough. Lacti running. Sneaky's just going to arcane shift and finish off Lacti. There we go. Cammy tries to fire off the stun, but now he's in trouble. Will High Valkyrie cross around the back? Will they try and just dive around the side there? There's going to be the scrying orb. Sneaky coming around the side. Arcane shift on towards him. There's one hit onto Cammy. Will not quite snipe him out like they want to. Balls goes deep. Straight on towards it. Are they in trouble? Is he taking too much tower damage? Sonya's Hourglass. Sneaky trying to tank it around and saving Private Balls. Works out. And Cloud9 get away. Scot-free.
So slippery.
Yeah, that mission behind enemy lines really worked out for Cloud9. Very nice. Ooh.
Watch Soraka on the map. Watch her flying out.
Oh, Surti gonna jump on this. Have they got the damage to try and take down Meteos? He's not really the target they should be going for. And now Leiko finds himself in trouble. Arcane shift. True Shot Barrage blasting across. And again, Cloud9 just getting topped off by Elimination and easily evacuating. They're all so slippery. It's just very hard for paiN to pin anyone down.
Man, I love these home guard Moby Soraka. It's a light speed ambulance just charging around the map.
It's the best, because you get so low in the team fight. You're like, wow, I have like 100 life. I probably shouldn't be here. Like Xerath might just like fart on me and I'll die. So you just like home guard back and you just come flying into the team fight and you're good to go.
Oh, I never thought I'd hear Xerath farting on someone to kill him, but there we go.
It's like blue energy farts.
That's like lightning. That's powerful stuff.
That's
man.
a big dragon that paiN just got actually there. That's the first dragon for, second dragon for them actually, sorry. So it's not that big a dragon. I just forget it.
Hey, at least they can clear the minion waves with the passive. Like, come on now. That's what the second dragon does. It allows you to clear minion waves. That's the power of it.
Well, Cloud9, will they decide to finish off this game, or... I mean, they haven't actually made that much of a dent on the base of paiN Gaming, and still paiN, well, they've been pretty close in some of these fights. If Cammy can land a good combo, it does cause problems, but Baron is starting off. We can see the ward goes down. They know that it's happening. They are close enough, but Lacti's a long way away from this fight. And oh my God! A snipe from Cammy sneaks the Baron out from under them. That should not be happening. Saint, I want to talk about this. How did that smite work there? I mean, that wasn't good.
He didn't have smite up.
Yeah, you can't miss smite if you don't have it.
Is that why you won't be taking smite anymore when you jungle?
Oh, I mean...
Oh, God.
That's just the power of the Xerath fart, as we talked about.
Who knew it was so strong?
That's some mean gas.
Oh, God.
Well, this is actually really good for them that they got that Baron, because, yeah, like, that's just an objective off the map that they can't go for anymore, and they're just going to be able to hopefully farm it out. But looks like C9 doesn't care that they had that Baron. They're still going to go ham and fight.
They're out of position here. paiN are in trouble. Lacti's getting chased down as the Culling comes out, but he's completely out of position. He should be able to back away. Cloud9 instead turn, just try and rush on towards the tower. They know that there's a number of paiN Gaming away from this tower right now, but they do have that Baron buff. There's the shield on the tower. They should be able to hold off these minion waves. Surti not going to dive on this one, just simply clear the wave as the rest of the team gets back in position. And Cloud9 back to scratching their heads and figuring out how exactly they're going to break this nut that is paiN Gaming.
It's going to be rough. The culling in Xerath and the disengage from Janna. How do you dive this? It's Jhin, it's Janna. They've got tons of ways to knock you back out from under the turret. And even with the poke that they have, they just don't have the tankiness to really get in there. And so this game is just kind of probably going to drag out for a while longer. There's not a good way for Cloud9 to finish this, even with the lead that they have.
Well, something they have managed to do is get the vision of their own jungle back, which is something they've not had for a very long time. In fact, now that they've got the Baron, we're seeing paiN on the aggression here, and they actually may sneak this tower down. They will. Cloud9 caught unawares. Teleport coming out. Balls fancies this one. High's going to come around. Are they going to land the equalizer in a good position? Will it slow them down? Will it cut them off? I'm not too sure. There it is. Leiko's the one. He's going to turn in towards that big Mega. Nah, that's a shutdown. That's going to be one down. Meteor's picked off, and Sneaky manages to take down Sir T in response, but the rest of Cloud9 are fleeing here. Leiko trying to catch on towards High. They just don't have the mobility to catch on them, and Cloud9 quickly back off and kite them back and forward.
I think trading 1-for-1 when the enemy team has Baron is actually pretty good and it stalls out their push, but I gotta say Meteos' build is a little bit armor heavy. You kind of might want to build some magic resist because that Xerath is just blowing you up.
Yeah, I mean, he does have a little bit of it from the Aegis, but certainly not enough to make it worthwhile at this juncture.
Not enough to stop that Void Staff. That's a pretty strong Xerath. He's actually reaching 5 items almost, so he's going to drop some serious damage. And he has Morello's on top of that, so any target he chooses to hit is going to get a lot less rock healing on it.
Well, as Baron found out, it will go down quick if caught by Cammy. Or the Xerath fart, whichever you would prefer to call it right now. 27-11 is the kill score. It is a bloodthirsty match right now, just at the 35-minute mark. And Cloud9, while they had a gigantic advantage early on, is down to 5,000 gold right now with that Baron steal coming back. Of course, it is even in Dragons, I believe. And I'm not too sure, Cloud9, do they have 2 stacks? Yeah, 2 stacks apiece right now between the two. So actually, the third Dragon may well be contested by both these teams. Once again, Leiko in that top lane, continuing to keep that wave protected. And those 2 inner turrets still in the top and bottom lane, really untouched by Cloud9.
I think this third Dragon's actually going to be pretty big. I mean, you have a double AD team comp, and movement speed is invaluable, whether it comes to chasing people down or even just kiting them out. So
you really just took the words out of my mouth right now. I mean, you can see how hard of a time paiN is already having catching up to C9, and there is going to be even less of a chance that they're able to make it through that brutal kiting that they've got if that 5% goes over to them.
And this is with the Janna movement speed that they're getting too, so they're having a hard time with that. So I really don't think they should give up this Dragon. They should fight tooth and nail for this.
Well, the Baron buff has worn off, so that's not going to be helping them out in this Dragon fight, impending Dragon fight, I feel, in 50 seconds time. The question is, do paiN have a good time? You remember, Ole did manage to get that ward down, so they would have seen the Dragon go down, so you'd assume they have good timing. Everybody's back in right now. I think 30 seconds should be enough for them to get back to this pit. We do see actually Meteos considering back in, then I think he's just realized the time is probably not favorable for him. So who will start this one off? You've got to feel Cloud9 are going to be happy to confidently going towards that pit. They're going to make sure they don't get snuck away from them like Cammy again, though.
He just walked right through that ward. There you go, found it. But this is where Cloud9 wants to fight. They're not going to be so great in terms of breaking this siege. So try and catch him in a choke right here. This is where you really want to start and...
Ooh, good poke. But again, the heal from Lemonation is there. Sneaky quickly gets caught out. Culling used very early by Lacti, but they want this fight. They're going for this fight. That's going to be a good Howling Gale. They're going to be land enough damage. High getting poked to front of the side, taken low, but he's not finished off. There's the equalizer now from Balls. So that's a good equalizer. Sir T goes in. Sneaky caught out there. Meteor's taken low. Sir T will go down. True Shot Barrage rains across there. Leiko locked up, and now Cloud9 again kiting it back and forward. Lacti goes in, gets himself one. Cammy gets the shot down, but they're tanking the Dragon at the same time. I'm not too sure they should have gone for this. They're going to try and finish it off on the side there. Dragon does take down Ole and paiN. What are they doing? They're chasing on Lacti. Oh locked up by Meteos. Sneaky gets himself the kill. Why on earth did they start that Dragon off at the same time? God only knows. The Ignite works for Cammy. He gets himself one kill.
Of course, the flash
now they start
Ignite,
the Dragon.
that's what it was for the entire time. But actually, the Dragon AoE, when it was attacking Lacti, managed to take out Ole, who was standing right next to him. And that should have been paiN's fight. Cloud9 should never, ever have let paiN walk through that choke.
Yep.
Never, ever should that have happened. That was the perfect place for them to fight, but instead they went backwards and ended up getting caught by a lot of the Zerathult damage right here. Oh, it's too late. They should have caught at the choke at the ramp right there, because now look at this. Sneaky, High, and Meteos are all grouped up in the back. They can't deal with this Gnar in the front line. Very mediocre equalizer right there, because it doesn't actually deal with any of Lacti or Kami's damage. Now watch Ole. Now,
why does Lacti hit that?
I don't know. He may have moved it. I'm being generous, but Ole right here is going to walk up and just get killed by the AoE. So very poor positioning by Ole right there. Lacti tries to go in for this kill onto Sneaky. Can't quite get it as Cataclysm comes in behind him. And here we go. The Ignite Xerath proving his worth, taking down Sneaky.
Yeah, I think if Meteos was a little less hesitant on going in on them as they came to the choke, maybe because he didn't have any magic resist. You remember the last time he went in, he just got instantly killed by the Xerath. Maybe he was a little bit afraid of that, but now he has a whopping 25 MR from the Null Mantle, so he might be a little bit more brave.
But it doesn't even matter if he died, because as long as he caught 2 people in that ult, the Rumble ult went over the top, and then True Shot Barrage went over the top of that, there's no way they can fight that Dragon.
Yeah, that would have been the perfect fight for them. Anytime you fight in a tiny little choke like that against Rumble, it's just, you're just like signing your life away. You're like, this is your obituary. It's like, here died Xerath at Dragon Pit.
Oh, Satie's gone for this one on towards Meteos. Ball's taking a lot of the culling damage, taken very low by Cammy once again. It was Liko they were focused on. Liko comes around the side. Whoa! True Shot Barrage just wrecking paiN Gaming. Liko in trouble. He's going to go down, and Cloud9 just clean sweeping through paiN. They're locked up on the turret. They're going to go down. It will be an ace for Cloud9. The question is, who will pick up the kill? Sneaky gets a triple. He gets the quadra kill, and they can just push on through for the base. It's the mid lane they're going to go towards, and the ace for Cloud9.
It's so easy when you fight in a choke.
Yeah.
Well, you wanted to see the Wombo Monty. I mean, Jarvan's not even involved in that. It looks just like all you need is Ezreal and Rumble.
Well, 16-10 right now for Sneaky on Ezreal. It'll be interesting to see whether that gets banned, because it's Alliance they may well be facing as they rush on through to try and close out this game. One Nexus turret goes down, the second will follow, and it's Cloud9 that reach the semi-finals, taking down paiN Gaming here at the Intel Extreme Masters San Jose.
And that game, Cloud9 had moments of brilliance, but it seems like they're, in a very uncharacteristic way to Cloud9, losing sight of the big picture of what they need to do to actually close out these games. And that's a more shaky Cloud9 than I am accustomed to seeing.
I think a lot of that comes from High. Like, High has always been the voice where he's like, we're doing this, we're going to do it here, we're going to do it now. And there's no questioning it, they just do it instantly. And maybe High's decision-making is just a little bit faltered because, I mean, people have been saying he's been having some problems in the mid lane, so maybe that is going to also carry through to his shot calling.
Just how big would that been if Lactae hadn't hit that Dragon, had have maybe finished off a couple of those people at the start? That was the Dragon. It quickly snowballed from there, and boom, game over.
I think that fight was very dangerously close to going horribly wrong for Cloud9.
Yeah.
And I think with those positional errors that paiN made, but it was a good fight for them, and they did exactly the right thing. Kami hit some great ults on the back line. High and Sneaky were definitely too close together against the Xerath of that power level. You've got to make sure you're split up so that he can't just stack his damage on you like that. And that game could have easily gone to paiN at the end right there.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. But I mean, what the big thing there is they used all their summoners once they did have that dragon fight, and that's why Rumble looked for that ultimate in that choke. It's like, whoa, you have no flashes? Like, all right, here you go. I'm just going to drop this right on your face with an Ezreal, and there you go.
But something we should talk about, you know, Cloud9, first time we've seen them on the new patch since the World Championships, and double AD carry. Is it back?
Well, I mean, they've clearly been inspired by what SK Telecom was doing over in Korea. We do see very similar compositions. Yeah. I do really like the comps that they played today overall. But I will see if they have anything else up their sleeve, because they're going to be having to go against a much stronger opponent here in Alliance coming up in the next round.
Well, what a fantastic match. Anything you see from this one? Obviously, they're going to be facing Alliance in the next round, as you just mentioned. Obviously, Alliance would have been watching that game. A lot of mistakes made.
Yeah, that's actually not quite what I expected from Cloud9. I knew they were having some problems going into this, but I think if they play like this, they're definitely going to be dropping games to Alliance, if not the whole set. It's going to be probably going to like the last game versus them.
Yeah, I hope that we get to see some game 3s in these later series. We're very close, I think, to having a game 3 here tonight in this last series that we just watched. But we'll have to see if Alliance can take Cloud9 the distance, and paiN just fell a little short, I think.
Well, thank you very much. From the bench crew, we're going to go back over towards the expert desk and see how they think of it.
Well, D-Man, it's actually me, and I'm right here with Meteos after that fantastic victory. Congratulations, Meteos, first off. Very interestingly, double AD comp coming in here 2 games in a row. Not that that's that uncommon, but how much of that was fueled by the new patch coming in here for you guys?
Actually, to be honest, none of that was planned. We've never practiced that in a scrim before, but we just sort of realized we needed an AD carry mid, and Hai's like, oh, I've played Corki before, so we sort of winged it and it worked out, so we did it again.
Well, sweet, it definitely worked out. Tell me about... They love you. Tell me about game 2, because it was working out, but then they sneaked that Baron, and now with the stats that gives, that was a little scary.
Yeah, I smited the race because the call was sort of to set up for Baron, and then we sort of jumped the gun and just went for it when we had no smite, and then Sarah stole it, so that was kind of depressing, but it was just a little setback, and I was pretty happy with how we played, other than that.
Well, as Saint said, you can't miss it if you don't have smite, so it doesn't really matter. What are your general impressions of the new jungle? We saw you going for your beloved Lee Sin again, and then Jarvan, so not a special pick, but I feel like these changes really do good for you as you like farming up.
The changes are okay. From what I've seen, it's still the same champions that are good in the jungle right now. There's some other picks like Warwick that people are pulling out, but he doesn't really do it for me. I like the early pressure, or just the option of early pressure. So I'm mostly playing the same stuff for now.
And it's working out. Next game you got coming up is tomorrow, the semifinal versus Alliance. It's 1-1 after Worlds. You said in an interview with Carmack that, well, a lot was going on, so you didn't really know what the lineup wasn't finished yet. How does the fact that Reckless is the new guy on the team influence the way you're going into that game?
I don't really know how Reckless on Alliance is going to make them, because he's a very different AD carry from Tabs. Tabs was more of the team player, and Reckless is more of the carry. So I guess we'll see. I haven't really seen him play.
Well, it'll be an amazing matchup. Finally, is there anything you want to say to the people here? 42% of the fan vote to get you guys here. I mean...
I just want to say thanks to everyone who voted for us, everyone who came out to watch. It's a lot of fun for us, so thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Meteos. We'll be seeing you guys tomorrow versus Alliance, but for now, we're going to wrap up this game over with the experts.
Thank you very much, Shocks, and indeed quite a great game coming out of Cloud9 for the win. The way they got there didn't really work out the way they wanted it to. It seemed to be a little bit sloppy. They were chasing a few kills, but those were really when they had the lead. We were kind of on the desk edging it out in that last game. If it goes the wrong way, it's definitely going to be going in the favor of paiN Gaming. But Cloud9, they squeaked out that second game.
Well, they got 35 kills.
Yes.
So at least that's a lot of kills.
One thing to notice, the gold difference, even though there was like
small.
Yeah, it was like 20 kills or something difference. Yeah, that was only like a 5-6K gold difference. It's really, really, really close in these games now.
Yeah, as they were saying on the caster's desk, a really concerning game for Cloud9. Or, I mean, we actually kept kind of saying this during Worlds when Kaboom was almost beating teams. It's like, oh yeah, those guys, they just got to play better. It's concerning they can't close out Kaboom. And, you know, actually the Brazilian teams are pretty good. I mean, paiN was a good team. And yes, it was sloppy. I think it's pretty clear we're going to see some sloppy play in the preseason from time to time. But yeah, Cloud9 had 2 relatively close games against them to move on.
I think it was definitely just Cloud9's prowess, experience, being veterans, even on this new patch. And they didn't show too much. We did see the Lissandra from balls top, twice a Corki high and mid, so they can really go on to face Alliance with pretty much anything here. They have many more tricks up their sleeve. Looking at paiN Gaming, they didn't stop trying to get back in the game, though. I definitely like that about their gameplay. They just didn't have the right shots. Like Monty said, with kind of the same compositions, that difference is exacerbated so much if you have the bigger gold lead, because you're going to be able to outpoke. You're going to be able to do more damage.
Although you have to keep in mind that Cammy was a real force throughout this game. he was hurting a lot, especially on Meteos, who didn't have any magic resist whatsoever. Kami was picking off people. Well, I think Hai was kind of playing around with him a little bit. You remember that, the dodging the ulti like several times?
Yeah.
There was actually a lot of dodging, a lot of good play, and you bring up Meteos. We're going to bring up a replay on your screen here. Kobe's going to walk us through just beautiful zoning on the Dragon fight. Really well played here around 18 minutes into the game.
So there's something I wanted to illustrate with this was Meteos' utility tank build. Everybody was wondering how Cloud9 gets out of this Dragon, you know, pretty much unscathed. It's Meteos kind of in the back here, the unsung hero at the top of the screen. He goes in, he zones out all the damage here. He's built full tank, and then Janna ults him back through the Cataclysm, and he just leaves it up. So the rest of Cloud9 can clean up their kills inside the pit. The top 2 damage sources there for paiN didn't get to do anything for the majority of that fight, and then they're able to cleanly disengage. I just really like, they mentioned the armor shred and the attack speed that it gave for the AA-D comp, but also Meteos' use of that terrain creation was really, really good all game long.
Now, Jet, you know, everybody was doing, I'm going to put this on you. We say that Cloud9 is somewhat struggling in those games, could have definitely lost to the lower tier teams there, but is that something that's going to hurt them, or can they right the ship? Were they just playing a little bit lackluster, or was Cloud9 just coming off a break?
I'd say kind of yes to everything you said right there.
A little bit each.
Yeah, pretty much. They were sloppy.
Said they were winging it.
They are coming on the break. They said they were winging it.
They were winging it.
I would honestly say, though, that they have a big advantage over Alliance in the fact that they did get today's games in.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be huge for them, because a lot of the teams that haven't been playing for a while, and this is them just getting back into the swing of things, and they're definitely going to have a really good shot at this right now with having 2 games up over Alliance, and Alliance coming in fresh tomorrow.
Absolutely true, and we are going to have coming up, it is going to be Team Solo Mid versus Unicorns of Love. We'll go over that a little bit before we throw to break here. We're going to see Santorin. We're going to up against, I'm not going to remember in the jungle. Nope.
Unicorn of Love was Kikis.
Kikis. I was going to say Kikis, and then I told myself I was wrong, but never second guess yourself. And then we have Power of Evil and Bjergsen in the mid lane. Really excited to see all of these matchups, and I think with kind of just the pillar that TSM is, I think this could really make a name for Unicorns of Love, and that even puts more pressure on them this game, and it could really put a hurt on Team Solo Mid if they come out of this game with a big loss, because everybody's going to say, what's this new composition going to bring?
Yeah, at this point, it's on to the EU versus NA showdowns, because that's what both of the semifinals are. It's a preview of the constant trash talk between the European and North American LCSs to see who is the better team. Obviously, there's going to be arguments on both sides. Cloud9 and TSM are the 1 and 2 teams in the NALCS, whereas Unicorns of Love just qualified. And honestly, they are a challenger team who came together at the right time, but the expectations of beating TSM is really, really high reaching. If they could do that, it would be incredible, because they shouldn't be ready to beat TSM yet. So if they do, it's impressive.
That's a really good way to put it. And they shouldn't be too down if they don't beat TSM as well. This is a big stage for them to be playing on. We heard Power of Evil say it's a little insane to be in front of a crowd like this, and it's something that TSM faced at Worlds over and over again and for the past few years. So right now we're going to take a quick break, but we're going to throw it to Shox on the stage for a quick interview.
Thank you very much, Rivington. I am joined here by Unicorns of Love coach Sheepy, and I gotta say, I mean, they won the fan vote coming in here, and they've done great in their first game. What have been your first impressions of them in this great stadium, and they just 2-0'd Lion Gaming?
We didn't expect to win that convincingly when we first went in, but after our practice, I'm very, very confident when we went into the game. And I'm very proud how we performed, and the crowd is just awesome. And yeah, we're really, really happy. NA so far has been a blast.
Yeah, well, I absolutely concur. It's been great here. What do you think it is that they have to change after that first game? Because they had a little trouble closing it out.
Yeah, it's kind of with us that we need to kind of get into the game. But I'm feeling very confident, and we kind of scouted out TSM beforehand as well. And so far, I'm just very happy that we are able to get so far, and we will try our best and try to convince everyone that we have the power to go through.
The power to go through, maybe the Power of Evil. Now everyone's of course focusing on that matchup, Bjergsen versus Power of Evil in that mid lane. How do you kind of keep the team from maybe zoning in on that too much?
Yeah, mid lane will definitely be a turning point in the game. But we all have our strength. We always communicate through how the lanes go, and in the end, it's a team game. And I'm very confident in Power of Evil's ability to keep up with Bjergsen. and the rest of the team will just support each other. And yeah, I'm very confident about going into the TSM match.
Very confident going into that matchup. Thank you very much. Remember to tweet us with using that hashtag IEM and following us at Twitter at IEM. What do you think about the upcoming matches and all the matches we've played here today? Or put a post on our Facebook wall, facebook.com/IEM. Keep in touch with you, and we'll be right back with Team Solo Mid as they take on the Unicorns of Love.